three attackers, and the police believe that they got all three of the attackers. The injury toll is now at 30. The ambulance service is now saying they took 30 people to 6 area hospitals in and around London. I want to bring in Robin Simcox. He's a counterterrorism expert and an analyst at the Heritage Foundation. And I'm not sure, Robin, if you actually heard the news conference that we just heard moments ago from London police, but man, it was very specific. They came out with the information. They said this white van went on the London Bridge. It went up on the sidewalk. It hit an unknown number of people, and then you had 3 attackers get out with knives, go to the market next door, and start attacking people there. Are you surprised we got that much specific detail this early in the game?
Well, yes, and I think and the police obviously very confident that the threat is somewhat contained. They seem to believe, and what I picked up on, I think what was implied was that these were the 3 main attackers. The police had neutralized the threat, and now they're beginning the process of trying to find out, well, who were these people? How was it they slipped through the security radar? Were they on the radar beforehand? And is there going to be any potential copycat attacks in the days to come?
Yeah, and you look at the perimeter, the cordon as they call it there, it's still very wide. In your estimation, Robin, what are they looking for? If they have the attackers, what else are they looking for in these blocks and blocks that have been cordoned off?
Well, I think I mean, look what's happening with the Manchester investigation at the moment. You're still having arrests taking place from the attack that happened last week. There's been arrests, there's been people that have been arrested and then let go. The police tend to have quite a wide dragnet at this point because they want to scoop up any potential associates, any potential other terrorists in the area, and then they'll get them in and they'll question them. If there isn't any connection, then they'll release them. But I think they're very much taking a safety first approach at the moment. That means a large perimeter. I think it will mean a series of arrests in the days to come, and then they'll try and figure out, well, who exactly was involved operationally with the rest of this network, if it is a larger network.
And just a reminder, 17 people were arrested in the Manchester attack a couple of weeks ago. What about the weaponry here? We're talking about a big white van that went down on the London Bridge, and then knives. What do you make of those choices?
Well, I think this is, for terrorists operating in Europe, the use of these vehicular attacks have got such high yield for terrorists. They're so hard to stop. Trying to stop somebody hiring a van, hiring a truck, buying a car. It's so hard for the security services, for police, to know which of those people, to track the people doing that, which ones are possibly going to carry out an attack. Again, with knives, a lot easier to acquire knives than it is to buy guns or to construct suicide vests. So this is very high reward and low risk for terrorists, this kind of attack. We saw it in Westminster in March, and we've seen it again today in London.
Yeah, 3 attacks in 3 months. A pattern. Are you worried for the UK, Robin? What do you make of it?
Yes, very worried. Worried for the UK, worried for Europe more broadly. The tempo of attacks from Islamist terrorists in Europe over the past 2 years or so, past 3 years, has really increased. We saw it begin with Charlie Hebdo, especially in January 2015. Ever since then, across Europe, there's been a very steady tempo of attacks. And no matter the best efforts of the governments involved, there seems to be limited amounts they can do to stop them. I think it's very ominous for Europe in the years ahead.
Yeah, that is a very frightening scenario. Robin Simcox, great information, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we look at the video here, and you talk about people who were walking off the bridge. Some of them had their hands up, kind of reminiscent of Columbine, and since then we have seen this. It is standard operating procedure across the world now, where if you are not involved, the first thing you do is you put your hands up and you start walking off the bridge. You can try and help police, differentiate between who, the good guys and the bad guys, for lack of a better term. We, up next, have just got some information about some tourists who were on the bridge in the area, witness sound, what they went through, and what it was like when that van came careening across the London Bridge at 50+ miles per hour. Continuing coverage of breaking news, the 2 attacks in London's on Fox News Channel.
But Grandma, we use Charmin Ultra Soft, so we don't have to wad to get clean.
Charmin Ultra Soft